There's a wide variety of vendors, partners, people to help me solve problems. My job is to help solve problems for families and for attorneys, as well as my team members. And if you know me, you know I go to the LA Real Estate Investment Club monthly. They have events in West Los Angeles, meet great vendors and partners and superstars in the business. And I came across a company that does something I've used before, on and off, but really need to add to my library of great vendors and also share it with people that I meet. And I just in talking to him, I thought he was really engaging when I introduced you, Phil Rodriguez from APRIS Trauma Crime Scene. So Phil, welcome to the call today.
Glad to be here. And, this is why I do those events. You never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah, you even met me. So give me a little background. Where do you live and where'd you grow up? And then how'd you get into your current business?
Okay. Well, I was born at Whittier Presbyterian Hospital in
No
19.
way.
Yep.
Dude, I grew up in La Habra. My brother was born in Whittier Press. I was born in Santa Monica, but okay,
Nice.
Whittier Press. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well,
Been here in Southern California my whole life. Our whole family's here.
where you go to high school?
I grew up in Diamond Bar.
No way. I lived in Denver for 15 years.
Wow.
Do you go to north or south?
North Diamond Bar.
Okay, I was new as after we left Diamond Ranch High School, I think it is, right?
Yep. That's where I went. I was the 5th class there,
Wow.
I believe, 2005.
Okay, so you're a local boy. Wow, good for you.
Yep. Been around here my whole life now. We're based out of Huntington Beach. We just moved from our location in Corona, out in Riverside County. So the majority of our business is out here towards the LA area and Orange County, and I get a lot of business in South Orange County. So it was, a part of some personal reasons with my daughter and her asthma. So we just made the move to improve her quality of life and be more centrally located to the needs of, our customers.
Move behind the orange curtain. Well, welcome to the OC, man.
Yep, I'm right on the border of Long Beach. I went to college out in Long Beach, so it feels like a little slice of home that I've been around
Nice.
for the last 15 years.
Nice. And so the company with APRIS, tell me, how'd you get into that? And then segue to what you guys do now.
Yeah, so I was EMT firefighter out in North San Diego County. Did EMT firefighter. I'm an internationally certified firefighter and certified hazardous materials technician. And so, we were going on calls and I saw a need for this. And so partnered up and so with Kurt Solonic, he was in construction for 27 years. He's actually the founder of the company, even though I'm the sole owner now. We had a great partnership for 7 years and he moved on we actually formed a nonprofit organization called Drifting for Life. And it is geared towards mental health and suicide awareness, particularly right now for the youth. But we are in the process of building our second vehicle called the Project Lieutenant Dan, and that is for military suicide awareness. So Rowdy 19, the first car, is for youth suicide awareness, and then Project Lieutenant Dan should be done this summer. And it's a lot of momentum. We're gaining on that, and it's just awesome to be able to give back. Because a lot of people come to us and like with Drifting for Life, and they're, well, you think you're going to end suicide? I'm like, no, that's impossible. But what we're going to do is, do this for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years, however long it lasts. And if we can help bring people out of that dark place and into something positive and non self-harming, then you know what? That's what it's all about.
Wow. Well, we should do a separate call just on that. I mean, it's something I've been involved with too, kind of periphery, not because I have any special training or desire. It's so prevalent. People don't really understand how many people are just in a dark spot. So you were an EMT or a rescue professional, firefighter, trained in this area, but one day you say to yourself, you know what? I think we can get in the business of cleaning up houses. Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, I linked up with Kurt Solonic, the founder, former owner, and we found a way. He was an insurance adjuster for 15 years.
Got it.
So that's how he grew me to be an insurance expert. And we saw, as a firefighter, we hang around sometimes, you see these cleanup companies come. And unfortunately, there's a family of 5 there, husband and wife. Husband went through the self-checkout line with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Cleanup company comes and they say, excuse me, ma'am, we need to check for $3,000 as a deposit before we can even touch the property.
Right.
And when there's insurance involved, even if there's not insurance involved, I think it's very predatory in nature to leverage that kind of vulnerability of the situation, to make sure you don't have a financial loss on that. And so I kept seeing that over and over again. And we figured out a better way to do it, a more compassionate way, a more honest way. And so that's how we got our formula is we never charge up front. And if there's insurance coverage, great. If it's a homeowner's insurance, renter's insurance, vehicle, automobile, marine, and then, we do get some incidents that happen inside planes every once in a while, not very often, but we were able to get that covered by the aviation insurance as well. So
So trauma crime scene.
that's our big niche I'm usually the second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth call because the other people that they call, they're like, hey, we need money up front. And no one asked to be in this situation. Life happens, the unexpected happens, the unimaginable happens.
Right.
And when this happens to them, I'm just glad that I exist to help those who really need the service. And we really, really emphasize on secondary trauma, minimalizing that secondary trauma. Because like a little quick story that I had a few months ago, I had a firefighter whose wife died by suicide in a hallway. And he didn't want to go through insurance. And he's like, I told him the amount, that it was going to be. And he wanted to choke me. He was, 6'5" firefighter, really yokey. And he almost, told me to go F myself and pick your, what. And I was like, look, sir, you served as a firefighter for 25, 30 years. You've done your, you've paid your dues to society. You've worked as a hero and done all that. You've seen the enormity of a mass trauma out there. If you don't go through your insurance, you won't see a bill for me. I will not let you clean that up and remember your wife like that. And that's how dedicated we are to secondary trauma.
Wow.
It's just, I talk it, I walk it, it's all there, so that's one of the many, 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 many crazy stories that you come across in this field of business, just incredible.
You can tell people who like their job, I always tell people when they say they're a probate real estate agent, the posers complain about the problems, the real people brag about the problems that they overcome and serve their customers, right? And that's what struck me about you was you right away showed me a couple of stories about times where customers really needed your help. And I think when you focus on that, the business takes care of itself. And the reason why many people struggle with business is they focus on the money first rather than being a service. But at the end of the day, you're providing a service, and I'm in business for the most part helping families. And oftentimes this is just one piece of a very complicated puzzle. So I don't mean to diminish it down to business, but let's talk about the business side. What's the most common case that somebody calls your service in to deal with? What's the most common look like?
Suicide.
So it's a suicide, and somebody's got to do something to clean the property up. From the coroner comes and takes away the deceased person, but there's a mess left behind that somebody has to do something with just to make the property even habitable or to enter the property, right?
Yep. And that's where the insurance kicks in because it's an uninhabitable, whatever room it is, that room is uninhabitable. Right. And, majority of the time it's a gunshot wound. And so that's where we as insurance experts know the insurance industry, and just about on 100% of insurance policies, explosions are covered and the damage was technically caused by an explosion.
Oh.
Let alone I could go down a list of 4 other things that would, initiate the policy to kick in. But right. Just on that alone, you're able to be like, okay, let's go. Insurance, valid claim.
One of the things I find is that families, unfortunately, these circumstances are so overwhelmed with pain and grief that they do the minimum that they have to and come back and deal with the rest later. You must see that where the incident might happen and 4 months later you're called in. Obviously, there's more work involved, but also financially it's a little different business situation, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Every call is different. Every situation is different. Sometimes, my father-in-law had insurance, this and that, come to find out, didn't pay the mortgage for the last 5 months, didn't pay the insurance for the last 5 months, and it's not there. And so that's why we always, save the money for later. We'll figure it out one way or the other. Right. The most important thing is coming from that service, point of view as a former first responder, that get them what they need to get through now because it's the first step towards a normal life that they're going to try and get back to and possibly never have again. And so you just want to make that initial get there, let's get it cleaned up, because they have an enormity of things that are now on their plate that they didn't know was going to happen yesterday. And today, there's a crack in their world and they got to pick up the pieces and try and move forward, you know. So it's tough sometimes.
That's why I'm glad to. That's why I'm glad to bring you into the team. In that, number one, oftentimes we arrange for advances for families of this property. You can maybe get some advance of the equity or borrow against the equity, or two, depending if we're the listing agent, we'll advance them or lend them money, not to make a profit, but just to smooth things out and move things more quickly. Oftentimes, families out of state, the attorney doesn't really deal with these things, and then we have vendors who also can help participate. Then we can really make a bigger impact for a family that they're looking at things. It's not common for us to advance and or spend $10,000, $15,000, out of our pocket, and your fee could be 3,000 or 5,000 of that. But we've done other things too. So, glad to share with you what you do. What area do you service when people call you? Is there a standard service area? I'm sure if somebody's willing to pay you for your time, you can go anywhere. But what's your most standard service area?
Oh, wow. That's getting all these things. I've been to San Francisco twice. Been to Needles, the U.S.-Mexico border, handful of times. Barstow.
Barstow, that must be fun.
Yeah, in August with no air.
The garden capital of Central California, Barstow.
Yeah. So it's really I'm proud to have earned a reputation of there's this kid in Southern California, give him a call, he'll solve your problem. And like I said earlier, a lot of times on the second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth call. And so if people are reaching out to me and, it's been a while that the incident happened and they're just trying to find the right person to do it, they find me and then I just, make it happen one way or the other. I have to figure out all the logistics because if I'm outside my main territory, then I got to see if I'm going out, then I have to have this covered just in case we do get an emergency, job that we need to respond immediately. So yeah, I'm really called to wherever I'm needed. We even talked with Geico Marine for a while about servicing all their marine claims and that. So
wow,
that got the gears, spinning upstairs about, okay, well, look at the entire coastline of the United States. It's a big U shape all the way from Washington down to California, shoot over across to Florida and up, towards Maine and Vermont. And so we started thinking logistically, okay, well, if they need us to go out, to Texas or Louisiana or, North, South Carolina, all places that have, marine vehicles and boats and everything. So yeah, I'm pretty prepared to fly anywhere or go anywhere that I'm needed, and then we'll figure it out.
Wow. So look, obviously you work with some great organizations. I met you, was impressed right away. I appreciate that you support our LA area, our real estate investment clubs, and in particular, I saw you there live. If somebody want to get a hold of you, I know I have your information, but how would somebody best reach you if they had a situation they want to run by you, maybe get a quote or get some information on your service?
The best way is my phone number. It's 844-462-7747. Or easy way to remember it, 844 go APRIS. And my direct cell phone number too, you can always text me, is 909-477-9661. I am the phone is my master. I get calls at 1 PM, 1 AM. I've been called at every hour that exists in the day, multiple times. And so I'm always at hand and ready to respond to anyone that needs help. I've dedicated the last 7 years of my life to this, and I don't plan on giving that up anytime soon. It really requires like a lot of dedication. And I think, not to, I'm the last one to, boast about myself, but my wife is like, it's impressive. You've been on call for 7 years, since December 23rd, 2015. I've been on call, and I vacation within 2 hours of Southern California area. So I'm always ready to respond, even when I'm on vacation. When people need the help, I just want to make sure that I'm available and that they get the services that are needed for that situation.
About the word APRIS, what does that mean?
Associated Property Restoration and Insurance Services.
Okay, there you go. So it's an acronym and it spells out what you guys do, that you deal with the property, but you're also dealing with the people and the families and the emotions. And I appreciate where you come from as far as service. So we'll put in the show notes, contact information, phone number again, 844-462-7747.
Yep.
And APRIS is apris.com is the website. So you can go there and get more information and contact them and such. And Phil, I really appreciate the chance to meet you and share with what you do. Appreciate the work you've done and the work you continue to do, and look forward to, unfortunately, look forward to working with you in the future. I guess that beats the alternative of not having good solutions. So I really appreciate your time today.
Yeah, that's the thing is it's good thing, bad thing. If there was never another suicide, I'd be the happiest person on the planet, because you experience firsthand, what that does to families and how they grieve and the unexpected that comes along with that. So, I was really quiet the last few months, but something triggered the other day in my head, and I was like, I'm always an advocate for my clients, my past clients, my current clients, and it hit me. Most importantly, I need to be an advocate for my future clients. So I've gotten really aggressive with my marketing and advertising lately, and it's hard to do that with the death business. When you hand them my card, some people drop it, like, I don't want to touch it. You're going to bring that bad juju. Now something's going to happen. So, just getting the word out there that I exist, because most people don't know I exist till you need me or you meet me. And if you need me, I need you to be able to find me. And so I really appreciate, Bill reaching out like this and giving me a platform to express what I do, my profession and my passion. And, just can't be, grateful enough for this opportunity.
Well, thanks. Well, let's stay in touch, and thank you so much, Phil. I'm sure we'll get a chance to talk soon professionally.
Yes, sir. I'll be back at that, the LA Investors Association shindig in May.
Look forward to seeing you then.
Number
Before,
two.
look forward to seeing you then.
Yep. All righty, Bill.
Thanks so
Good
much.
stuff. Yep. Take care.